fix this light. Because I'm going live on my phone. It's very bright. Let's see if that's better. I'm trying to fix this. Didn't expect it to do that. Beautiful. I might seem a little bright, so I'm gonna try to keep turning it down. But it still makes me seem so bright. There we go. We're gonna work with that. Cause it's very like foggy, and my filming area got rearranged because my husband is in a meeting and I gotta do things when the kids are quiet, mom shit. So hello, my sacred magical souls. Welcome back to my channel. I am live with you today instead of having a pre-recorded video, just because I have so many new tribe members, so many new people. I wanted to get on here, actually introduce myself, actually help you get to know me, and we're going to talk about some money beliefs today, which I am a money mentor, a mystical money metamorphosis coach, whatever you want to call it. I really don't like labels, but if you work with me and you're insider and you've worked with me, then you know what this transformation is like. So today, we're going to talk about some money beliefs. But first, I really want to get you knowing on my background to understand how I've come about understanding and really getting into this work and getting into being so passionate about getting not only women of color wealthy, but women period, because women have this unique ability to be able to usher in a new paradigm in the world in a unique way, in a feminine flow, divine feminine way, and that is severely missing from the world because women have been pushed back on their power because of their lack of being able to own resources, being able to have possessions, being able to really accumulate wealth. And for so long, we've had to rely on our husbands or our spouses to really be able to bring that in for us. But now we're in a whole new world, and it's shifting and it's changing. And in order to reach new levels and reach new heights and usher in new paradigms and do all of this conscious work that we want to do in the world, you have to be able to hold power, aka being able to accumulate wealth, because of the world we live in. The world we live in, you need money to survive. It's where we're at. It's no denying that collective reality. So stop trying to get out of it and really reframing the beliefs, understanding the emotional integrity, intelligence that goes into creating money, creating a goal, holding a vision, creating and living in your soul purpose and your soul calling. And you can't do that if you feel like money is one of the factors holding you back. And I was a finance major and a political economics major in college. I was a minor in psychology. I planned on going to law school, and I plan on going to get my PhD in psychology, and I still do actually, but right now I feel like I want to get my grounds working in self-study and just doing those things and using what I already know and what I've already observed from just working with people and working with spirituality and honing in my own truth and rooted in and how I want to really give back and help people and help usher in my vision is getting people to making more money because it's prevalent. And so starting with the first belief, the bullshit belief number one is that time equals money. Your time is not synonymous to money. You cannot go to the bank and hand in your time. It doesn't matter how much time you spent doing something, how much time you spent alive, how much time you spent at a job. That does not matter because that does not equal the direct amount of money. When people say time is money, they're making it synonymous. You're meaning that time and money are equal. Time and money are the same. When you can access money at any time. Money is always available to be made or to be more of produced. When you have stocks, when you have crypto, when you see millionaire and billionaires created every year, most of them self-made. 80% of them are actually self-made. But most of them do not use their time to create money. They have their time to do whatever they want and leverage it in a way that is conducive for how they want to live their life. And their money is not preventing them from doing that. When time is money, it gets, that's how we get caught up in this structure and this idea that it's okay to trade your time for money, to trade your time for getting this amount of money on a paycheck, saying that your time is worth $10 or $7.25 minimum or whatever amount of money, but realizing that money is infinite. Money is a resource that was created by humans, that was created here. If you've seen the evolution of money, going from barter, going to coin, going to the dollar, and now we're moving into the age of crypto. Money is always being produced in some way, shape, or form. The economy, as much as people try to talk about it or say how the economy is in a downfall, yes it is, but the economy is still stabilized. The economy is still very much so going and very active. So money can be created, your time cannot. So when we make our time and our money synonymous, it's very hard to go from working as an employee to working for yourself, because you're still in that same employee mindset of trading your time for money, saying that I'm gonna get this amount of money for this amount of time worked. And a lot of people go into entrepreneurship or trying to work for themselves, and especially trying to work in this spiritual space. I'm going to go to that in a second. Still trading their time for money and not leveraging their expertise, not leveraging their genius, not understanding how valuable what they're providing actually is. And the people that create wealth understand how valuable not only their time is, and having priority and ownership of how they spend their time, but understanding how valuable what they're providing is, understanding how valuable the service that they're giving to someone else is, and understanding how much they're impacting and helping somebody else. And when you understand that, and you know that your value is not based on how much time you can waste at a job, how much time you spend at a job just to get this limited cap ceiling paycheck, because that's how it keeps you indoctrinated in the system of giving your time for money. And people, and you, even in entrepreneurship, get stuck in the same loop, get stuck in the same trap, always needing to chase, accumulate, instead of being able to bring in money naturally, passively, without much effort. And when I'm saying without much effort, I'm not saying that you don't do anything, but it's not so draining. It's not so resistible. You get joy and pleasure in that journey of making money, instead of it feeling like somebody is forcing you to do something and you're stuck in this mode of survival. You realize people have the same 24 hours, but do not make the same amount of money. So time cannot equal money. It's not 1 + 1 equals this. It is completely different. It's a completely involved structure. And when you understand that time is yours, that time is always here, but is also very limited in the way that we experience it. So your time is actually more valuable. Simple supply and demand. If you understand, if you have less of something, then it's in higher demand because it's rare. It's not something that you can get back. As is money, if you spend it, if I spend $10, I can get $10 back. It's not really a loss. And I hope that makes sense, because I feel like I just rambled, but I really need, because it bothers me so much, especially when we're trying to talk about wealth. Okay, being in the state of wealth is not saying that, oh, I have to go spend an hour on stage and only get this $200, or I have to work 40 hours a week just to make $1,000 every 2 weeks. Like, that's not mathing. That's not adding up, especially in the time of inflation. Like, money keeps changing. What money is worth, $1 today cannot get you the same amount of things that got you $1 in the 1950s. But time stays the same. The 24 hours stayed the same. So once you switch your belief about that, you start understanding and moving different. You start being able to calculate out your time and valuing your time at a higher caliber, because you understand what your time provides and how valuable it is, not only for you, but also how valuable it is for the people that you're working with, for the people that you're servicing. People don't work with healers, therapists, medicine women, or anything in the astrologers, tarot readers, etc., 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 because they don't have the answers, because they can't figure it out themselves. That's not the case. It's they're working with you. They're giving their energy to you. They're exchanging that time. It's spending that time with you, and y'all are having that energetic exchange. It's not because they can't do it themselves. It's because they value their time so much that they want to fast track and collapse timelines by working with you. Because everything is about convenience, and it's not convenient to be stuck in the same place for a lot of time. So if you're helping others, Amazon, we're not talking about centralization, but understanding that people that accumulate wealth do not trade their time for money. People, actors, you could think about actors, you could think about singers, you could think about any type of performance. They do not spend all of their time working. They spend a short, condensed amount of time working and the rest of the time resting, if they so choose, because they have that option, because they valued their time so much that the time they did spend working gave them the other time to prioritize what was important. And when you have the space to do that, when you have the opportunity to do that, it gives you more opportunities to rest, more opportunities for fun, more opportunities for love, more opportunities for joy, more opportunity for abundance, more money coming in, because you understand how you're valuing yourself, valuing your time, and taking ownership of it, and not putting money on a pedestal, saying that you have to give away something that is so sacred in order to get money. That was long. So I hope the other ones are not that long, or I might not even get into all of them today, because I have an extensive list. And if we want to make this into a series, I definitely can do that. So my next one is, you can't be spiritual and charge a lot of money, or you can't be spiritual and wealthy. And that was one of the beliefs I definitely had when starting all of my businesses. That's why when I started the last two businesses that I started, and they failed, obviously, in my description of failure, and not failure is in it didn't go how I wanted to, but failure as in I wasn't being honored. I wasn't honoring myself and my energy and what I actually wanted to do, because I held this belief that not only I needed to be financially stable, quote unquote, to go after this. If I needed to be financially stable to go after this, because you cannot be spiritual and charge a lot of money, because you're somebody that is helping someone. I'm helping you, therefore I have to sacrifice my time in order and be a martyr, and sacrifice my resources and my energy and all of this stuff, and give to you and pour to you, but without pouring into myself as well. That is actually 100% false, and not how reciprocity works at all. And in order to attract abundance, we live by the universal laws. And the law of reciprocity is literally one of the laws to manifestation, one of the laws to abundance, one of the laws to prosperity. Is one of the gateways in the path to do so, is reciprocity. And not reciprocity in the way where you feel like you have to or you should do something, but because in honoring that person's energy, honoring what they're giving you, and honoring that the money is me changing your life, changing the trajectory of how you feel about yourself, changing the trajectory of how much you think is possible for yourself. There is no price on that. So charging whatever you want to charge without being unreasonable then that's your prerogative. You're not for everybody. I have a very penetrating, very triggering, very potentially blunt, but very honest and loving energy. So my vibe is not for everybody. And by doing that, my prices weed out people. If you charge, say, $1,000, you attract a certain type of person. If you charge $10,000, you attract a certain type of person. If whatever container, you attract certain different types of people. I work with very high achieving, high level people that want to do a lot, so I have to charge the prices that push them a little bit. If you understand, and let me give you a very good example of, if people are coming to you as a spiritual person, as a spiritual business owner, saying you're buying crystals, saying they're coming to you for an astrology reading, a tarot reading, an intuitive reading, a medicine healing, it's a wide variety of things, and a wide variety of healers, mystics, witches, bad bitches, all of the things. But say they're coming to you and working with you, but there's nothing really in there for them. Like, imagine you buying yourself that gym membership that you never actually go to the gym, or that time that you bought a book that was only $10 but you never actually read, or those free ebooks that you get, those freebies, the free mini courses, all of anything that you did not spend a substantial amount of money, that it was no, it didn't take anything from you. It wasn't like a, this is scaring the shit out of me to do so I really have to show up, so that it is not a waste. If you don't put that type of energy into something, if somebody is coming to work with you and they're not putting that type of energy into it, then how are they going to value what they're purchasing? If they're buying a crystal and they only spend $2 on that crystal, then they're going to lose it, and it's not the same versus them spending $70 on this crystal, because it's something that is made from the earth. It is divine, and you're purchasing it and bring it into your energy to vibe and raise the vibration of the earth. Why would you? No, this like applies to anything. It is a world range of things, and I've seen people not charging the value of what they're putting out and what they're producing. And because of this belief that we're told that we need to be spiritual martyrs, everybody in the world came here to create a substantial amount of different types of wealth. That's how the world's vibration keeps growing and keeps rising. That's how the universe keeps expanding and keeps having and finding something new for us to discover and explore and grow through. But you can't do that if you stay on the same level of vibration all the time. And in order to do that, you do not have to limit yourself by only saying that you can only charge this, only make this amount of money because you are on this quote unquote spiritual journey. Nobody is saying that money is the end all be all and that is worth more than anything. That is not the case. But understanding that money plays a valuable place in your life. Money plays a valuable place in you being able to produce resources. Money holds a valuable place in us being able to tip the scale of power and being able to actually bring this into a more conscious way of living in the world. But how can you do that if you do not play the same game that has already been dealt, which is getting the money, creating the wealth, producing the resources? You can't. And that's why spirituality, spiritualists, spiritual healers, and all of these powerful ass people have been sitting in the background. And it's not time for you to sit in the background anymore. So tell yourself, if you weren't spiritual, if you weren't spiritual, or didn't, and you're not including the word spirituality at all, how much money would you want to make? And stop attaching shame to the fact that you want money, or if you want a lot of land, or if you want a lot of family and friends, if you want a lot of notoriety, if you want a lot of power and to manage people. There's a different level of wealth for everybody. There are several different divisions, subdivisions of wealth, and I'm not going to break that down today, but I do talk about that in my programs and with my clients, to understand where you're fitting in that scale, where you fit in that where you're fitting in that diaspora, and where your heart is pulling you towards, because that's what you're here to create. and not getting into this idea that just because you're trying to help people, that means that you should not charge anything. If that was the case, then why aren't people doing it already? Because they have no stake in the game. This knowledge is sacred, and charging whatever you charge, making that a quote unquote expense, making that an investment, allows people to discern whether this is for them or whether it's not, and allowing yourself to repel and receive the most aligned and unaligned people. And you usually do that through your prices. And a lot of women charge less, as I've noticed. There's a lot of programs that I've taken that I'd be like, y'all, ooh, they need to be charging way more than this, because people are not taking it seriously. I've invested in high level programs. I'm talking about 5,000, 6,000 in multi, and I'm planning on doing 6-figure masterminds and all of these other things. I invest in myself consistently and show up for that investment every single time, and which is why I grow, which is why I experience the abundance that I do, which is why I reap the rewards, because I do not allow myself to get caught up in the fact that I don't quote unquote deserve money just because I'm spiritual. Because that's ridiculous. I still have to live in this world. I still have to pay my bills. Me being spiritual does not take away my 3D experience. So that's bullshit. Where are we? Number 3. Ooh, how much I make determines what's possible for me. And a lot of people have this belief, because people think that how much you make right now determines what's possible for you forever. But at any time you can make a decision to change something, and that can change the complete trajectory of what is possible for you. Money does not open the door for opportunity. What you believe is possible for you opens the door for more money. How you go after your dreams is what opens the door for more money. How you have a relationship with money is how much money comes your way. Understanding your purpose, your power, and your potential opens the way, now opens the gateway of what is possible for you. Believing that there is infinite amount of things possible for you is what makes things possible for you. Anything is possible for you. Anything is possible for anybody. That's why this life is so mysterious, but also so glorious at the same time, because every day is an adventure. You literally never wake up and never know what's going to happen that day, even if you have a schedule, even if you try to control every ounce of every day. What's possible for you is what you allow yourself to be possible for you, what you allow yourself to be open up to, what your consciousness is tuned into. What you don't know is that if you're connected to your soul desires want you to. That's why it is a soul desire, because it exists on a quantum level. It is literally reaching out to you, literally calling and craving, trying to get into contact with you. But since you're blocked off from what's possible for you because you think you don't have enough money, you think you don't have enough time, you don't think you have available resources, you think you have to wait until you do this, you think you have to wait till you reach this acclaim, you think you have to do this, you think you have to do this, you think, instead of tuning into your intuition, tuning into your wisdom, tuning into what your heart is telling you, because your heart is not going to lead you astray. Your higher self is not going to lead you astray. Your spirit guide, your ancestors, your God, your divine are not going to lead you astray. We have to stop thinking with so much logic and reason, because the people that are inspirational defy logic and reason. The people that are revolutionary defy logic and reason. People that are millionaires and billionaires obviously were laughed at the beginning, but now people are asking them how they did it. It's amazing to me how people have 20 million plus subscribers and views on their YouTube channels, but the people that are genuinely telling you how to make money and invest money and get more money, not just showing off their Lamborghinis with the money that they make, the people that are actually sharing with you how to do that have like a substantially lower amount. And it's absurd and it's crazy, because people say that they want more money, but they really just want the things that come after the money. and that's what is possible for you. So you keep consuming content of what is possible, but not connecting the fact that that is not a bridge that is too far from home. So you can start, once you come into your purpose, once you acknowledge that you have a purpose, once you acknowledge that you could create a path, once you acknowledge that you have more potential than you're living up to, then that opens the doorway for opportunity. That opens the doorway of of a life of fulfillment, a life of peace. I have so much shit going wrong with my apartment right now. I'm so tired of moving. I keep having foundational problems every time I go to a new apartment. I'm tired of moving. I just want to, and so we're now working on building our own house because we bought land last year during the pandemic. We bought several acres of land in different places. So we're coming up with floor plans and building that, while also me trying to build a business, me having 2 children under 2 years old, having a husband, us having little to no support. It's a lot of things going on in my personal life. But overall, outside of all of that, when I come back home to myself and just chill, I really feel more at peace now than I ever have in my life. Simply because I can acknowledge that this is not all that's coming to me. This is not all that's possible. This is not all that I'm living up to. And I know that every single day I'm doing the best that I can and opening more doors to what's possible for me, opening more doors to my power. And once you feel empowered and know that you have power and reform your relationship with power and come home to yourself and interact with your wholeness, and stop trying to bypass and ignore your emotions, you see what is possible. You see the opportunities because they're all there already. Always. You just have to be open to it. You have to be ready for it. You have to take control, not take control, but embody the power that lives within you and be okay wielding it. And that's what opens up opportunities. Money does not determine what's possible. Once you understand what's possible is how you attain more money. Say it again. Money does not determine what's possible. Once you understand what's possible, it opens up a pathway for you to attain more money, to attain more power, to attain more resources, to attain more possession, more priority, more ownership, more freedom, more liberation, more peace, once you are unlocked to the infinite potential that lies within you. So what have we said so far? Time does not equal money. Your time is much more valuable than money. You cannot be spiritual and be wealthy. Bullshit. How much money I make determines what's possible for me. I think I'm just going to do one more. I think this one is it. When I get more money, I will feel blank. / when I get more money, most of my problems will be solved. A lot of people repel money in a way because of how they feel about money and their perspective and view of money, which I dig really deep to in my programs because it's so multi-layered and so multi-dimensional. It really can go over your head if you're not in the right safe, sacred space to tap into your relationship and your understanding and your sometimes shame and embarrassment and guilt about money. But when we get stuck in the when I syndrome, when I get, and this is for anything, this does not just apply to money. But when you get stuck in this when I syndrome, when I get in a relationship, then I'll feel happy. When I find the love of my life, then I'll be happy. Then I'll feel loved. Then I can love myself more. When I have this amount of money, then all my problems will be solved and I can go live my life how I want to. When I lose this weight, then I can love myself, right? But when you get stuck in this one eye syndrome, you are not actually honoring yourself in the present moment, so that it's always going to be one eye. It's always going to be somewhere in the future. It's never going to come home to you currently in a present moment. It's never going to materialize in reality because you keep pushing it off into some near future. When I do this, then I can do self-care. When I have more money, then I can solve my problems. A lot of problems are created internally. A lot of problems are created continuously, and they're not problems, they're patterns that you're ignoring. Problems are usually a perspective or a pattern, never anything else. So literally, it's either a perspective or a pattern. If you have a problem and you change your perspective and it's still a quote unquote problem, then it's a pattern that you're here to learn from. The law of patterns is meaning you're going to repeat a cycle. It's similar to time loops on television shows. You're going to repeat a cycle until you actually learn from it. Most recently, I was watching The Flash, and they were stuck in a time loop. And until he understood the lesson about his dad and changed his perspective and understood the pattern that he was trapped in, then they were able to break the time loop. And there are several examples I can give like that. But if you cannot give that to yourself right now, you're never going to get what you're claiming that is going to happen when you do this. Because if you cannot master where you're at right now, how are you going to level up? It's your life, in my eyes, is literally a video game. It is literally a cosmic video game. And every life, every version, every manifestation, oh, my neck, every manifestation is a new game. It has generally the same rules, but you're coming in this bitch as a different character, a different avatar, with different powers, with different gifts, with the different ideas and different perspectives. So in this cosmic game, you cannot reach the next level, just like in any video game, until you master the level that you're already on, until you come across and understand and go through all of the lessons that currently exist. So if you continue to see the same patterns and watch the same level of the game over and over again and continue to go through the same steps, and saying, when I beat this level, then I'll know that I'll do this. When I do this, then I'll beat this level. But you have to do that in order to beat the level. We get so used to bypassing stuff and just saying that what we want and what we're desiring is the thing that's going to fix right now. But what we're going through right now is going to make what we desire even more fulfilling, even more worth it, even more satisfactory, instead of trying to substitute it with instant gratification. Those things that come immediately and leave even faster are not going to satisfy you. It's not going to feel the craving and fill the void that you're trying to feel, because you're ignoring what's happening right now and pushing it off like, when I do this, when I do that, when I will up. In my eyes, that's waiting for something to happen to you instead of being the cause of things happening. Inspirational people, aspirational people, revolutionary people, people that are leaders in life, they don't take risks. They bet on themselves and allow themselves to not wait for somebody to save them, not wait for somebody to open an opportunity for them, not wait for an industry to be, not waiting for people to understand them. They just take some inspired action and keep going until they can't no more, and keep going until they've reached their desired goal location. But doing that, they do it in a path that they created themselves. It's not something that they just waited on and it was just handed to them. People are not just handed Nobel Prizes. They're not just handed Grammy Awards. They're not just handed whatever the fuck. Acclaim, notoriety, status, whatever it is that you're desiring, book deals, soul tribes, communities, what businesses, whatever. They are not given those things by just waiting around for people for it to be handed to them. Because that's not action. That is you and still in victim mode. That is not being empowered. And action is not always you doing something. It's just your decision to be and think and have a different view and and change your lens on life. Change your lens on how you interact with the world and how you interact with the universe and how you're interconnected with the world. Feminine beings thrive off of interconnectedness, and interconnection and being able to have money opens up even more connections, opens up even more ways to give back, even more ways to receive. So you can give yourself what you're craving right now. If you're craving more love, pour more into yourself. If you're craving more stability, how can you allow yourself to ground into your reality? If you're craving more abundance, how can you love on and appreciate and be grateful for the abundance that we have right now? If you're trying to learn how to manifest, if you're trying to bring your vision into fruition, what are you really listening to your soul desires? Are you following what your heart and your consciousness is leading you towards? And I wanted to start off with some beliefs because you might have a belief that you might not even realize is there, because most beliefs we take on as absolute truth. And my Saturn being in my ninth house in Pisces, conjunct with my midhaven, I am all about truth with my 1-3 human design profile, which is researcher and experimenter, meaning that I'm all about truth and seeing if there's a way that we can even expand upon the truth that already exists. But this is truth. When you pay attention to your belief system, you understand that inherently your behavior starts to change. This is on the higher up that you go. It's hard to explain just visually, but you have your identity and your chakras. And in the what I don't remember these people's names, and I don't know how to explain it without a visual, but your beliefs is on a higher realm in your body. It lives in your higher chakras. It lives in your subconscious. So your beliefs directly affects your behavior. It directly affects what you value. It directly affects your environment, your results, the people that you hang out with, the people that you interact with, the relationships that you have with everything, how much money you make, and what you believe your identity to be. And when you change your beliefs, you change your identity, you change your behavior, you change your values, you change what comes into your environment, you change your reticular activating system to play a different realm of reality for you. And you could do that for yourself right now simply by questioning and getting in tune with your beliefs. And these are some beliefs that keep you from propelling forward in your business, keep you from propelling forward and going after more money, especially that one of thinking about how much money you have is directly related to how much is possible for you, when it's not. Because just because you have this amount of money right now does not dictate how much you can have a year from now, 6 months from now, 6 years from now. It's always changing. The only consistent is change. And since your beliefs are not absolute truth with a capital T, because there are universal laws, but laws are not beliefs. You have to still structure your beliefs to really see how you work and move in this world, see how your behavior operates, see what you value, change, and grow. And you could do all of that just reanalyzing your belief system. So I hope you guys like this video today. I hope you guys find it helpful. If you found a belief that resonated with you I've now helped shift the perspective on, and if not shift the perspective but shine some light on it, and that'll be enough for me today. I just really felt like coming on here with you guys, especially because I hadn't filmed a video for today. I've really just been big time chilling, really preparing myself for this new container that I'm about to launch, which is the description box. Why am I not being able to formulate sentences? Which is Vision Vortex. Down in the description box below, you can sign up for the wait list if you are interested or feel called to. But right now, I just really wanted to talk about those beliefs. I probably am going to make this into a series because I have so many, and that was just 5. And there was 8 on this list, and I have a list of like 30 because every time a new one pops up or I hear a new one, I write it down, because I wanted to start keeping track, especially in seeing how it impedes on somebody going after what they want and what they dream. Because whether people understand it or not, money and not in the fear of not having money dictates your decision on how you build your business, go about your business, do not go about your business, or how you just interact with life, period. So I hope you guys like this video. It's been 40 minutes. Didn't even know it's been that long, but thank you guys.